All right, guys, got a new topic for you today. Today we're talking about cortisol. First, we got to start by defining what is cortisol. Cortisol is a hormone in our body that is triggered when something's a little off, right? We sense a little bit of danger, maybe some fear. Something is happening right now, right? Cortisol is triggered into our body and it leads to a couple of different effects. Once cortisol is released into your bloodstream, naturally your heart rate's going to go up, blood pressure is going to increase, a little bit of adrenaline is going to be flowing as well too. And what this is for is in the short term, it's going to help you to survive. So if we were getting attacked by a cheetah or a lion or a crazy possum out there, right, we'll have to be able to run. So you want to be able to generate energy really, really fast. Cortisol helps us to do that inside of our bodies. The problem is cortisol is like the neighbor that won't go home. You're not supposed to be here that long, right? Cortisol is not supposed to be in our bloodstreams for an extended amount of time. But because of the demands of our society and our jobs, our lifestyles, everything we have in our culture, a lot of people's cortisol levels are rising up. Their stress levels are higher. They're not sleeping as well. They're not eating whole foods. There's a lot of different things that cause our cortisol levels to continuously rise and bump up. If our cortisol levels remain elevated for a long period of time, it has different effects on all of our body systems. Literally every single organ system in our body responds to cortisol in a different way. So let me run down a list of some of the effects that cortisol being elevated can have in our bodies. Cortisol affects the release of oxytocin, which is our bonding hormone. It's the hormone that makes us share in a social society. So having more cortisol actually makes us a little bit more selfish. Increased cortisol can inhibit your glucose metabolism. So a lot of people who think they suffer from insulin resistance, sometimes if you're under high stress, it's really that you have elevated cortisol levels. Elevated cortisol can also compromise your immunity and not allow your immune function and immune cells to take hold and help you to fight against disease and other kind of infections as well. Also, cortisol is a killer for your sex drive. Fellas, whenever you're under a lot of stress, trust me, your cortisol levels are elevating. That means your testosterone is going down. So let's summarize it really quickly. When cortisol is used properly in its proper context, it actually helps us to defend ourselves, be more alert, to have a little bit of energy to run away or to fight. But when it's in our system for extended periods of times, it can wreak havoc on a lot of different body systems. So here's a couple different ways that you can manage your cortisol levels better. All right, personally, I believe the best supplement against high cortisol levels is a great night of sleep. So that will be number one. Next, managing our stress, whether it's through meditation, journaling, working out, seeing a therapist, talking with friends. You have to find ways that we can manage our stress in different ways and don't let the cortisol levels get out of control. Don't let our stress take over the situation. Let's take over the situation and slowly start to mitigate what's really causing the stress for our bodies. The third thing sounds really basic, but honestly, it's also a big key. The foods that we eat. I always push a whole food diet. Try to eat real food. Try to stay away from fast food or processed food as much as you can, and try to get your nutrition from actual whole foods. So things you can recognize, things that come out of the ground, animals, fruits, vegetables, different grains, stuff like that. Like, make sure you're having real food and stuff that's not been processed over and over again. If this video helps in any kind of way, please like, subscribe, or comment on my page. Also, if you're on any social media platforms, please share this video. I appreciate you. Signing off once again. Have a great day. While sitting here thinking about the video, I have two basic bonus points that I wanted to cover with you guys. Number one, a lot of people who drink a lot of caffeine, sometimes we're doing that to get more energy, but it can also cost you more energy because you're just over tapping your adrenal glands. So sometimes when you feel like you're running low on energy and you want to go for that coffee or that energy drink or whatever it is, take a pause and assess how much caffeine have you had. If you're having too much, sometimes it also works in reverse effect. Bonus point number two, alcohol. Yo, I'm not mad at you. A nice little wine or nightcap, you know what I'm saying, sometimes is real cool. However, just remember, over consuming alcohol can also lead to breaking down some other systems as well too. It also eventually in the long term doesn't allow us to get the deepest of sleep, especially if we're having a few drinks for that day. I know it feels relaxing in the moment because it is a depressant, but it can have some other side effects to your body. And also your body can't metabolize other calories until it burns up those alcohol calories either. So those are my 2 bonus points. Have a great day, guys.